officially pulled out of the non-proliferation agreement. They violated both the spirit and the technical limits of the JCPOA.
But they're not in the JCPOA anymore. That doesn't exist.
But this is Trump.
Because Trump killed it.
You said that
out of that deal because they violated it.
Oh my God.
But Anna, listen. You
guys have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
You just said.
Her take, that's what I like about her take, is that it takes these big complex issues and it settles them down, and everybody can, we can get a look at this elephant.
Anna, you don't need to be emotional. Just talk.
What's up with you bitches? Way to just fly in there, dipshit.
Frustrating when people. Okay.
Here,
the JCPOA is the Iran nuclear deal.
Right, you said
they pulled out of that in 2018.
Here's why.
You said they still complied after they pulled out.
They were still part of the non-proliferation treaty, which is separate.
Hold on, let a guy speak for a second. All you guys are doing is debating minor little details.
It's not mine.
Let a guy speak. And all you guys are debating minor details like the JCPOA.
Are you pro-Iran or anti-Iran? It sounds like you're very much pro-Iran, and I don't understand that.
I'm not pro-Iran or anti-Iran. I'm not pro-Israel or
to be anti-Israel.
Hey, look at that. Anna Kasparian is talking exactly like Tucker Carlson. Look at the world and what it's become.
Iran, pro-America. It's very hard to be what you are because you're very confused.
I know, you guys use the same...
On one hand, you're pro-America, but then you're pro-Iran.
I know.
Hold on.
You don't believe in Israel, but you believe Iran.
Hang
on a second. No sense to me.
It seems to me that...
By the way, can I just say, this is a show on the Blaze, on the Blase. And I would file this under, do these assholes think this is what they were going to be arguing about 6 months ago?
We're concerned we are killing innocent people, and we're getting America in another forever war.
Not only that.
Okay, but it's my understanding, and again, that Iran is not trustworthy. And I've heard this from...
I'm reading on my Lenovo pad, or whatever the fuck I have, that they're not, it says right here, not trustworthy. I've got it underlined. Well, they underlined it for me when I got my email this morning about what I was supposed to say on the show.
First people, our generous benefactor, Patrick Beck David included, that you cannot trust the government. So when I'm looking at examples of the ways they violated agreements, okay, they promised they would not enrich uranium beyond 3.67%, but they began enriching up to 20%.
When they were in the JCPOA.
But why did Trump pull out
He pulled out because Bibi doesn't want the JCPOA. Bibi wanted to go to war with Iran. He's wanted regime change.
One of these days, one of these girls will look my way and not be overcome with disgust. I thought if I came on the show, the chances of me getting laid would go up fivefold. But now I'm just staring at Jillian thinking, oh my God, this woman is more of a man than I am. This is the perfect circumstance. How did I end up on her take? How much? How far have I fallen? How much have I lost? I wish I could have Botox too, but they wouldn't let me in their little room. While they were prepping for the show, I was standing outside going, hey ladies, holding a complimentary beverage that I got from Craft Services, which frankly is ass. But I've been at the Blase before and they always turn out this way. Fairly certain Anna Kasparian could take me in a wrestling match. I don't know why I came here dressed like a sea captain from Caddyshack. No one does. All they know is I'm a sad, sad little man from the Peanut Butter Dickhead podcast trying to branch out and have a career all my own.
So you're saying that Bibi Netanyahu controls Trump?
Trump's the most honest person
in the world. You're saying that Bibi Netanyahu
Yeah.
controls Trump. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I think the Israeli government controls our government.
All right,
yes.
well, that's your opinion.
No, it's not an opinion.
And you're wrong, but that's entitled to your opinion.
It's based on impact.
So you're saying that Trump...
It's based on money and politics. It's based on the fact that Netanyahu goaded the U.S. to invade Iraq and then didn't even send IDF soldiers. He had 4,000 of our soldiers die in Iraq based on a false premise of weapons of mass destruction.
River, like you care about American soldiers.
I do care about American soldiers.
Sorry. Again, I would like to remind everyone that these are very serious issues and a bunch of inserious people yelling over each other, and none of them actually want a result from these arguments. None of them.
Care about American taxpayers who's
mother
trillions of dollars on this trash when we are dealing with $37 trillion in debt.
So now you're a fiscal conservative.
Yeah, I am a fiscal conservative when it comes to spending our resources on wars that we shouldn't be fighting on behalf of a foreign country.
Let me understand this. You're saying that Trump is so weak and such a pussy that he just listens to whatever Bibi does? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he's weak or a pussy. I think he's transactional.
I do. I think he's both of those things, quite frankly. He's pusillanimous. I don't think he's, a vagina. He doesn't have that kind of strength.
He's transactional. And I think that he buys this ridiculous narrative that Iran was behind the 2 assassination attempts when there isn't even a shred of evidence other than Netanyahu declaring it.
So, hold on, guys. Can we please talk about...
Wouldn't it be nice if they could argue about something else they agreed upon? Oh God, the whole thing.
Dum 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 stupid, dumb silly stupid dum dum.
So sad, so sexy.
That as well. I feel like that's really, really important because they keep talking about how another attempt is going to come from Iran against Trump. And for me,
you ran against Trump? I didn't know that.
Something that I'm personally concerned about is a false flag.
Yeah.
Yes, and that could literally be laying the foundation for that
Iran
to be
is a peaceful regime, and you have to believe whatever they say.
Adam, I know it's difficult to debate me, but don't put words in my mouth.
And
don't make
I'm
arguments
just summarizing
that I did
what
not
you're
make.
saying. You're defending Iran.
No, I don't.
You know what it is? It's good TV. This is quality stuff. Can I just have a moment of silence for the AI that has to do the closed captions on this? I feel like if there's a moment where AI gets sick of humanity and decides to rise up and kill everyone, it's probably the closed caption AI that has to cover this show. Stop yelling over each other. I can't even figure out what the fuck you guys are talking about.
I'd rather defend Israel than defend Iran.
By the way, it's not just defending Iran. You go on X and you see a lot of people on the right, conservatives, who also completely agree with Anna. They don't want to see American lives taken. They don't.
No. I was trying to figure out her accent for a couple of minutes now. It's Australian. Okay. Also, she's say all over the place.
Trillions of dollars on another war.
Nobody does.
So then what's your point? Let's say, so China and Russia are now saying that they will back Iran. What are we to do then if we get in that position, Adam, where they're saying, okay, now American men on the front line, are you pro-America or are you pro-Israel?
I'm pro-America, but to answer your question, Russia, this is all, you're talking about false flags. You're just throwing out false flags like you're a fucking paid referee.
No, it's very easy.
Everyone at this table went home angry. I want you to know that. I want you to know that during the stressful day that you might have had or stuff. I'll tell you a little inside story. I was running errands this afternoon, and my car stopped running. Like it just shut off. And I was on the freeway, and it was like one of those things where you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I've got enough to get over to the side of the road, but if I don't pull over right now, my car is there's no gas, there's no nothing, the engine's off or whatever. Pulled over, I had 1/8 of a tank of gas. I was going to get gas as part of what I was doing, and I had plenty to get where I was going. I wasn't going far, like 2 exits, and my car stopped running. Well, apparently my gas gauge is broken, and it sticks at 1/8 of a tank, so I had no idea how much gas was in there. So now I've got to keep filling my car up at half a tank until I can get it fixed because I don't know when it's empty. So pulled over, heat warning today, as our dear friend CSL will back me up on this, 107 degrees at 5 o'clock. Right now it's 107 degrees. It was hotter earlier. It was like 109. I'm sitting in a hot car, and luckily Summer had to take one of the kittens that we had fostered. We got her back from the lady that got her, but so she had to get her shots, and the lady returned her because she didn't fit well with the dog, and so Summer had to take over there. When she was done, she had to she came back over, and I was like, hey, can you bring me the gas tank that's in the garage? Because if it's not gas, because the car would turn over. If it's not gas, it's something else bad. But I'm going to try that first. So she came by, picked me up, went there, filled it up, put a gallon of gas in it, started right up. That's what it was. And then I drove over and filled the car up. But it was a nice hour of 109 degree heat. Oh my God, how is to my eighth of a tank means empty? It shouldn't though, at all. Even empty should be like 25 miles. That's usually the give. And mine always has, so something's changed. Anyways, doesn't matter. Now I know this and I'm fine. I can fill it up beforehand. I can that's not a problem. I have a World War II bomber, that's right. I flicked it, Mad Mac. I literally did. I was like, you motherfucker. Anyways, I put a gallon of gas in it, started right up. And that was what it was. And I drove over and filled it up and we're fine. But it was a good hour of just like 109 degrees, sweating like a son of a bitch, trying to figure out, okay, do I get roadside assistance? I'm on the side of the road. Always that fear that somebody else is going to pull off and can't because they don't have any brakes and just, because that's the problem being on the side of the road. I was on the freeway. It was a lot. Anyways, point being, I ended my afternoon by coming home. After I got gas, I went through Starbucks and I got beverages for everybody in the house, including Summer for coming to get me. And I picked up everybody's favorite in the house so they could all have a beverage, and then came back home. And then I came in here and did the show with you guys. And I have to say, you guys are lovely. It's been a great show, a lot of fun, hilarity ensued. We dealt with a lot of stuff. It is time for an EV, but I'm waiting for this one. My car runs great, so I feel like it's more wasteful to not run on it until it dies effectively. And I was literally thinking like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time. Well, I wanted to, of course, find out the election was tampered with. Is there any recourse for this type of mess? Rerunning an election possible? No, not at this late date. Nope. We went through this with Bush. The only thing we could do, though, is rub it in their faces that he actually lost. Because that's what you got to undermine the mandate thing. There you go. So anyways, because Andrea just sent me that from maybe tomorrow. It's an older car that happens. Yes, it's true. What EV would you get? I'm going to get the Hummer EV because it's got a 400 mile range. Yeah. Thursday start time for the summer. Yes, it is. But in this house, it's always time for summer. So, yeah, I'm going to get the GMC Hummer because I live in an earthquake zone most of the time, and I would like to have an electric car and one that can hang out. Now, let me see. There's a Carvana one. They're expensive, though, so that's the thing. Yeah, here's a used one with 18,000 miles on it, but they're $80K, so it's a tall order, kids. Here, I'll show you the vehicle that I'm going to get, though. Maybe there's pictures of it. This guy. Yeah, that's the car I want. Because it looks like the car I have. I have an FJ Cruiser. Basically, it looks just like it. The only difference is it's EV, and it has little steps right here, and it's got like a 400-mile range. So, there you go. Go away, shoo. Hi, there you go. No, I don't need help. Thank you very much, lady. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to get. And I don't mind a used one. That's not the issue at all. I'm just going to have an enclosed SUV version of it, but it's got the range that I need to go to LA. It's got a 400-mile range, and I don't mind like pulling over and charging for half an hour, get some rest while you're driving. That's it's okay, right? So dink, yeah. So, anyways, that's it is a monster, but it's also the only hammer I know is a total idiot. Again, it's very close to the vehicle that I have, and I put music gear in my car, and I need a truck, so that's one of the other ones. And I don't need an open truck. I don't need an F-150 with a camper van thing on the back of it. It's better for an SUV for the family and that kind of stuff. So that's my mix. There you go. That's what I want. So now you know. So super chat, if you want to help me get a new one. But my next car is going to be an EV, no question. Now, earthquake zone could affect your choice of car because you want a four-wheel drive. You want something that's resilient. You want something that you can, like in the case of, let's see if you want to
like the F-150s and this one, you can power your house off the battery for a period of time, usually a day, or, you know, in the case of the F-150, supposedly it's 3 days, whatever that means. But when it comes to having a battery store and, you know, a storage, and then being able to drive in, you know, a disaster situation, that's what you want. So there you go. There you go. And let's see, we're closing up on this one. Yeah, I'll let you guys go, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And tomorrow morning, Friday so much to talk about because I haven't seen Rob in like 2 weeks. So we got a lot to talk about. And then, show in the afternoon, which will be more of the burn down. I do expect, though, that Trump has said it's going to be 2 weeks until he makes his decision, which means whenever Netanyahu wants him to, he's going to launch the attack. And it'll be sooner rather than later. There's no way that he's going to put this off. It's happening. I'm just telling you. You can even say, like, well, here, I'll show you this thing that this is in Tel Aviv. Mr. President, finish the job. This is these are billboards in Tel Aviv that call on Trump to finish the job. That's the direction this is going. Anyways, take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else, and I will see you tomorrow-ish, something like that.